Hi, Cindy, if you're there.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Fine.
Good.
I'll be in class on Saturday. I've really missed the classes, but some things came up and I couldn't go. But I love them. I really love your Saturday morning class.
Oh, good. Yeah. You know, it's been really funny. Sometimes I have a lot, sometimes I have little. But anyway, I enjoy it too. So let's see who is joining. Oh, Bia. Hi, Bia. Let's see
Let me see.
Oh, good. I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can. We're going to make a lot of use of a strap today. So be sure and have a strap and also a roller if you have a roller. Cindy, you have a strap, don't you?
I do.
Great. We'll wait another minute or two. I'm sure we'll have more join. I had a lot.
I can't. Oh, because this is off. The TV is off. Of course, I can't hear. Okay, now I can hear.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're going to begin standing. I know we'll have more people join, but I like to start on time, so we'll begin. So I'll put mute on, and oh, Cindy just left. Huh. Let me wait just a second. That was kind of funny. Oh, well. Okay, so hopefully she'll mute when she comes back on. Oh, here she is. So, okay, so yeah, she's muted. And okay, so Gail is here. Gail, you're just joining. I just announced we're going to be using a strap today quite a bit. So if you have a strap like this, then please have it. And also we'll use a roller if you have that. If you don't have a strap, then you just kind of have to pretend. But if you have one, great. And let's begin. So if you want to unmute and talk to me at any time, that's okay. All right, so we're going to start standing. Just stand with the feet a comfortable distance apart. We're going to start moving the spine, starting at the top. So moving the cervical spine, just move the head a little bit side to side. Not a big movement. And then bring it in the center. Now we're going to do the same thing with the ribs. So the ribs are just coming side to side. And again, find center with that. And then take a little bend in the knees, take the hips side to side, almost like a golf sway. And then find your center again. Now we'll make circles with the head. So again, trying to isolate here, think of length and circle 3 times one way, and then go in the other direction and circle 3 times the other way. And then finish that. Now we'll do the same thing with the ribs, going around in a circle. Again, I'm trying not to involve my hips. And I'm staying long. And then I'm going to go around 3 times the other way. Back and around. All right. Now with the hips as well. So big hip circle. We can make a bigger circle. The lower down the spine we go. And then 3 circles the other way. Just getting things warmed up. Great. Now we'll focus more on the shoulder girdle and the hips. So start with the arms to the side, externally rotate the upper arm, and then rotate it in. And we're going to rotate out, rotate in. Notice when you rotate out, how it kind of affects the shoulder blades and opens the chest. And then last one. Good. Now we'll work with the legs. So step the right leg and rotate it in, and then rotate it out. And we're going to go rotate it in and out, and two more. And last one. And now left leg, rotating in and rotate out. Good. And one more here. Okay, so now we'll do both at the same time, more or less. Take a goalpost position with the arms, rotate the right arm in, the left arm out, and then we're going to switch. And again, feeling into the shoulder blades. And two more. Good. Now doing the same thing with the legs, step wider, kind of in a plie position. We're going to be turning the right leg out, the left leg in to a 90-90 lunge. You'll bend your knees, come through the center, turn the left leg out, the right leg in, again, coming to that 90-90 lunge. And then back to the first side, bend the knees, and back to center. And again, we'll switch. Little bit of a balancing act as you lift up the back heel. Good. And this is our last one. And then turn the legs to the center, bring the feet closer together. Now we're going to do a bit of a traction, self-traction. You're going to reach up and then keep reaching up. Reach up more and more, lift through the back body. I want you to feel like you're hanging from the ceiling. And if your shoulders go up, that's quite all right. And then take the arms down. Now, bring your right hand to hold your left ribs, bring the left arm up, and then do a side bend. And I want you to try and fill your breath into those left ribs, move the right ribs into the left ribs. Come back to center, hold your right ribs now, and then stretch up and over, creating space in between those ribs. Under the ribs lives the respiratory diaphragm, and so you can breathe into it and expand. And then once more, holding your left ribs and bending over the right ribs. Contract the right ribs, open up the left ribs, take breath there, come back into center. One more time, off to your left. Kind of push your left ribs into the right ribs. And come back to center. Okay, so now here's where we'll use that band. You'll want to place the band onto the back of the ribs and try to keep it broad if you can, because we're going to be using it for feedback. And so the more of the rib cage it covers, the more feedback you'll get. We're going to start with a flexor curl, and I want you to push the front ribs into the back ribs into the band, and then go back to where you were. So use the exhale to curl, front ribs moving back. Open up the chest on the inhale, twice more here. Really focus on the front of the body, the rib cage specifically pulling back and pressing into the strap. Okay, now we're going to move the strap, and the strap is going to go in back of the lumbar spine. So essentially in the low back, kind of below the waistline there. Doing the same thing, I want you to work from the front of the body though, and I want you to push your back into the strap and then stand back up. So I'm not trying to work with my glutes so much. I'm trying to pull what's in front of my sacrum into the back of the sacrum, working with this lower abs, lengthening, making space in between the vertebra of the low back. And this should feel good. It shouldn't hurt. Last one. Great. Now from here, go ahead and come down onto the mat. We'll keep the strap handy. As I said, we'll be using it a lot. The legs will be bent. And so on the mat with the legs bent, line your feet up about with your sit bones. Start with the arms at the side and then kind of anchor down and feel what is touching and what's heavy on the mat. Feel the bones, the sacrum, the rib cage, the shoulders, the back of the skull. And then press down a little bit more into the bottom of the sacrum. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And then I want you to actually lift your rib cage away from the mat. As you're dragging it away from your waistline, you're going to place the back of the rib cage back down and then reach your fingers to your feet so the shoulders are no longer in a shrugged position. Place the hands onto the ribs. I want you to take a nice breath in and try to fill up the back of the rib cage with your inhale. And then with the exhale, as you let the breath go, you'll probably feel some abdominal engagement. So think of breathing into the back of the ribs, widen them. And with the exhale, let's use that Pilates breath, breathing out through the mouth. It's an elongated exhale. You'll make an H-A-H sound. So we're connecting the breath with the core muscles, that respiratory diaphragm being part of the deep core. Connect your exhale to drawing the rib cage together and kind of anchoring it down in towards the back of the pelvis. Keep this breath going. Now the pelvic diaphragm mirrors the respiratory diaphragm. So on your exhale, think of contracting the pelvic diaphragm as well. And you're going to gently draw the muscles of the perineum up underneath the pubic bone. Last 2 breaths like this. Try to feel everything is working together here. And now place your hands alongside of the body. Broaden across your collarbones. Feel your shoulder blades are pressing down. And then from, again, a little exhale and the pelvic floor, drawing the pelvic floor muscles up, you're going to bring the top of the sacrum onto the mat now. And you're going to feel the low back has flattened and maybe get a little bit of a stretch. Continue to deepen that scooping of the abdominals as you press into the feet and roll the pelvis up into a bridge, pressing the knees away from you at top and wrapping the inner thighs down. And then do a little bit more of a posterior tilt, pulling the pubic bone to the navel. Keep that going as you lower the spine down from the top to the bottom. Try not to skip any places, so try to place the belt line, and then you'll feel the upper sacrum, the abs are scooped out. Now lift the low back muscles to regain your lumbar curve, and you're back to a neutral position. Take a breath there. Start with the pelvic floor, drawing in and up. Feel the abdominals scoop and hammock down, and you're in a flat back position. Then press into the feet. Feel the hamstrings and the glutes fire, and you're coming up into this pelvic bridge. At the top again, you're curling the hips towards your ribs, but the ribs are connecting down to the hips. If the shoulders allow, go ahead and lift the arms up, take them back over the head, reach your fingertips away from your knees, and then come down through the spine again, trickling down from the top of the spine to the bottom. Try to get space in the vertebra. And again, we're trying not to skip any places. And come back to a neutral position, hands down by the hips again. Now, posterior pelvic tilt again from the pelvic floor, from the abdominals, and then come up again into the bridge. Feel how the knees press away and how the sternum softens down in towards the ribs. The back should feel flat here, and the abdominal should feel scooped out. Arms go back overhead once again. And then once again, press the knees away from you, pull the heels towards you. You get some hamstring work there, and then down through your spine again. Trying to not wobble, try to go down evenly. And once again, we'll find that flat back, hands by the hips, and then lift the low back muscles. Now find your strap again, and we're going to be holding the strap above the chest. You'll hold it between the index finger and the thumb and about shoulder distance apart, and palms will face away from you. Now let's engage our deeper core muscles here. So let the tailbone be heavy. Draw the pelvic floor muscles away from the seat of the pants. Make sure you're not squeezing the glutes to do that. Tuck those muscles up underneath the pubic bone and let the abdominals hammock down away from the ceiling. Keep the back muscles lifting so you have that co-contraction going on between the front and the back. Draw the hip points together in the front. Draw your ribs together. Now, even as you draw the ribs together and anchor them down, you're going to pull the band apart on your exhale and then take it back up on the inhale. So try to draw the ribs together as you draw the arms open, and then inhale, hands come back up. Be lighter on the weight on the feet. Feel the sacrum sink more into the mat. And again, we'll pull those arms apart. And one last one. Very good. From here, we're going to change. And now we're going to take the arms back over the head, drawing the front ribs down still. You're not going to be able to go back very far. And then on the exhale, press your hands all the way down towards the mat. You'll feel the back of the arm and the shoulders, and then inhale, arms back overhead. And then with the exhale, abs pull down, feel the back of the shoulders, back of the arms as you press the arms into the legs. One more here. Now, next time that you press those arms forward, you can add an abdominal curl. Start with the inhale. And then as you begin to lift the arms to the ceiling, you'll nod yes from the back of the throat, lift the head, reach the arms down in towards the legs, press them all the way down, and then inhale and back down again. You go. As the arms lift, pull the shoulder blades down the back, and then energetically squeeze around the ribs. Rib cage funnels into the pelvis to lift up, and down you go. Now, don't add the lift of the head if that is bothering the neck. See if you can still work with the abs pulling down. Those of you that are lifting the head, you want to feel the reach come from the back of the shoulders. And one last one. Very good. From here, pull the low belly down. We're going to bring the right leg to a table position, and then bring the left leg up to meet it. Now we'll take the legs and squeeze them together. And again, draw the strap open wide, and then open the legs up and the arms will come closer together. And then squeeze the legs together and open the strap wide, and then legs open, inhale. And exhale, squeeze the legs, pull the ribs together as you open the arms. Inhale, open the legs. And one last one, really squeeze those legs together. And then open the legs. And then from here, we'll go ahead and take the strap onto the right foot. And you can put the left foot down as you bring the strap onto the right foot. We'll do a goalpost situation with the arms, anchoring the elbows down. And then if it's okay for your back, lengthen the left leg out. We're getting ready for leg circles here. Feel the back, and the back of the arms are engaging. And then with the strap, kind of pull the right femur down deep into the hip socket. Make sure you're not hiking the right hip, it's pressing away. And then take the right leg down on the left side a little bit, press into the strap, and the leg lifts on the right side. So pull the abdomen in as that leg lowers down. See if you can feel the strap giving you resistance. So the low belly pulls in more. And we'll do one last one in this direction. Good. And then take a pause, and then it's down on the right side and up on the left side. And as you're going here, I want you to note equal weight on sides of the sacrum. So try not to move in the trunk as we do these leg circles. We'll do one more this way. And then hold the right leg straight up to the ceiling. Now we were just hopefully feeling the lower abs engaged more as you pressed out into that strap. And you were finding the resistance to lift the leg. So now I want you to find those lower abs. See if you can pull low abs down, bring the left leg to meet the right and lower the left leg down. Anchor the right leg down. Abs pull in, left leg lifts and lower down. Feel your side obliques and waistline narrow to lift the left leg up. 2 more like this. On the last one, we can bring the left leg into the strap, foot, and bring the right leg down. And then anchor down again in the shoulder girdle. Anchor down that left femur. So we want it to go in the back of the hip socket. Make sure you're lengthening the left hip away. And then kind of as well, anchor down through the right thigh. Take the left leg off to the right and bring it back up. Now press into the strap. So make sure it's tight enough so that you feel resistance. And that way, when the leg goes down and away, you should feel the abs hollow and a little bit of tightening of the waist, your transverse abdominals. Now reverse that. Left leg goes on the left and up towards the right ear. Again, keep that right inner thigh pressing down. Right leg is your rudder. It's hugging the midline. Finish the one you're on and then take a pause. Again, left leg roots down, pull the low belly in. Right leg lifts to the left and lower it down. And again, we'll draw it up and down. Good. Really tighten the waistline as you lift the right leg. And then draw it up and we'll put 2 feet into your strap. So now listen to this part. I have 2 feet in my strap. And now I'm going to make a loop around each foot individually. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put the loop around the top of the foot and then out to the side. And then the other foot, I'm going to go to the top of the foot. It's hard to get it in there, but let's get this. And so now what I have is I have the strap around both of the feet at the bottom, and on the top of the feet, they're separate. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And then we're going to feel here again the steadiness of the shoulders. Anchor down through your pelvis. Draw the pelvic floor up. The legs are squeezing together. And then keeping the sides of the sacrum even, you're just going to move the feet a little to the right. And then you'll come back through your center and then press down through the right side of the sacrum. Take the feet a little bit to the left and back to center. Try to stay even weight on your sacrum as you go side to side in this tick-tock fashion. If you need to bend the knees a little bit due to tight hamstrings, that's fine. You should feel side waist work going on. One more time, finish off on your second side. Good. Now we're going to do a double leg lower. So I want you to squeeze your legs together and then pull the pelvic floor up as you lower the legs down and bring them back up. You don't have to lower very far. Pull your rib cage together as well and anchor those front ribs down into the back of the pelvis. So the front ribs will pull down, and that's going to help to keep your back from overarching. One more here. Remember, you pull the pelvic floor away from the legs as they go down. And then please bend both knees. Now we're going to go into a bicycle. So you'll press the right leg out, and then you'll switch and press the left leg out, and the right and the left. If you want more, you can lift the head, neck, and shoulders, or keep them down if it bothers the neck. Try not to swivel in the hips here. And 2 more. And then last one there. Good. Draw the feet in. Go ahead and take the strap off. tricky part. Come back to a table position, let the legs flop down and then hold your knees, okay? So here I have my neutral position, my heels are low there. And I'm still going to feel the zippering up and the tightening of the waist without changing the position of the pelvis and the upper body. I want you to draw the knees apart and then send them away from you a little bit, squeeze them together, and then knees over hips again. And they go apart and together. Now for more core work, you can do this with just the legs and your core. For even more core work, bring the knees to a 90-degree angle, and you'll feel quite a bit more work there. So if you want to keep it easier, keep the heels down by the lower leg. And last one. So I'm not rocking on my pelvis here. I'm holding neutral the whole time. Now we'll reverse that. Lower both legs down and away, open them to the side, and then squeeze the legs together. Make your own resistance. They'll lower down. Doesn't have to be a big movement. So you don't have to lower very far, just a little bit. Open the legs wide and then squeeze them together. One last one here. And then lower the feet down, open the knees, and let the soles of the feet go together. Just take a stretch here, getting a hip flexor stretch. Letting the abdomen soften. And now draw the knees to the ceiling. We're back with the strap again. This time the strap will go around both feet and we'll be in a table position with the legs, but the legs will be in a frog position. So that means my knees are over my hips and I'm going to have the knees be open, the toes are open, and my heels touch together. Again, anchor your triceps down. Now from here, we'll do a leg press. When you straighten the legs, again, the pelvic floor pulls up, try to squeeze the back of the thighs together and then bend. And you're going to straighten and bend. Again, pulling the pelvic floor away from the legs, tighten the waistline as you straighten the legs. And they can go on any diagonal. Doesn't have to be straight out. It could be up to the ceiling. Last two and last one. Now straighten the legs all the way up to the ceiling. Here, once again, if the hamstrings are tight, you're not really going to be able to stay in your neutral. So you can bend the knees a little bit. Just keep the thighs in a vertical position. We're going to release the left leg out of the strap. And now we'll do an exercise called cheerleader, funny name. Keeping the right leg rooted, pelvic floor has to be turned on. Find the skinning around the waist, and then bring the left leg out to the side. And then from the inner thigh, draw it back in. And the left leg goes to the side, and you'll draw it back in. Feel the left inner thigh connect to your right side waist. So do not tip over to that left side. Good. And then bring the left leg all the way up and lower it down all the way down onto the mat. So now before, as you recall, I had you from the lower abs draw the left leg up to meet the right. Remember that? So that's an option. That's an easier option. Otherwise, we're going to go into a scissor. And as the left leg lifts, you'll press into the strap, lower the right leg, and then you'll switch your legs. Feel free to take a smaller range of motion here. Feel when you push into that strap, there's a connection to the deeper abs, the transverse, and see if you can find the same press with the left leg away. And then take the left leg up, bring the right leg up, and then we'll switch and put the left foot into the strap. Take the right foot out, and then bring the right leg out to the side and draw it back up. Connecting right inner thigh to left side obliques. Good. And one last one there. Actually, one more, sorry. Good. Lower the right leg down. And this time back to just the right leg lifting. That's an option. Or we come back to our scissors. Great. Try to tighten your waistline and carve out the lower abs. And one last one. And then take the strap off again. Bring the feet back down onto the mat. And we'll just take a moment to reset, okay? So feel the sacrum heavy. And then find that scooping of the abdominals in and up, always starting with the pelvic floor. Cinch your waistline together. Draw the hip points together. And then without a wobble, I want you to bring the right leg to a table position. Notice if the weight shifted on the sacrum, so even that out. Anchor down through the side that might be lifted. And then pull those lower abs, bring the left leg to a table position. Now, with the strap again, you'll kind of throw it over, or you can lift your chest up and bring it onto your shins. So I'm just going to kind of throw it over there, holding it with the hands. Crawl your hands about halfway up the strap. And then fingers facing down, hold the strap with straight fingers. So please don't rip it. Hold it with straight fingers. And then on the exhale, I want you to press your hands down into the mat, pull the abs down, and then inhale, let that go. And then exhale, press those hands down. Feel the strength come from the back of the shoulders, but the abs naturally probably want to pull down. Legs are steady. One last one here. Now feel free to stay with this or nod yes again. Pull the rib cage together in the front. Pull it down to the pelvis to come up with the head, neck, and shoulders. And again, you're going to press down and then release. And find that press and release. And again, press and release. And last two. And last one. And then bring the head down and bring the strap over your chest again. Put a little tension into the strap. And then from the right hip, you're going to hinge and lower the right toes down towards the mat. And then from that low belly, I want you to draw the right leg up. And then left leg will lower. It doesn't have to go all the way. Find the lower abs pulling in to draw it up. Right leg lowers. Bring it back up. And left leg lowers. If you can keep that 90-degree angle in the knee. Now I'm going to add on. As the right leg lowers, I want you to press the strap into the left knee. Press those arms down. And then take the arms up. The leg comes up. Left leg lowers. Press the strap down into the right knee. And then everything comes up. You should feel more ab work if you're adding that strap pressing down. Good. And again, press down as that left leg lowers, or whatever leg you're on, you're pressing the strap into the opposite knee. Let's finish with the left leg lowering down. Good. And then just take the right leg on the mat, bring the strap onto your left foot. And then lengthen the right leg back out on the mat again. From here, we're going to bring the left leg out to the side for an inner thigh stretch. Feel free to use your elbow as a kickstand. I'm only holding the strap in the left hand now. And then I want you to consciously pull your abdomen from left to right. Use the pull of the abdomen to bring the left leg straight up. And then just bring it a little off towards your right until you begin to feel an IT band stretch along the outer side of the left leg, anchoring down through the left hip. Now, if the hips and the back allow, you'll begin to lift the left hip, and you'll begin to feel a glute stretch as you press out through the left hip. As the back allows, you can come into more of a stretch for the back, lowering the left leg down more to the right side of the body. But be really conscious here. The back is twisting, and so you really want to make sure that your back feels happy with that. Now, pretend the left leg is a clock hand, and you're going to draw the left leg down to the right leg. And then circle it out towards the left side again, and we're back to that inner thigh stretch. Pull the abdomen from left to right, draw the left leg straight up, and then pause for the IT band stretch. If the back allows, take the leg further across for the glute stretch and the back stretch. And then once again, circle it down to the right foot and out to the left side. Pressing out into the strap, feel the ab work to pull the leg back up to the ceiling. And then IT band stretch, ab works again to glue the outer left hip down. And then if it's good for you, take the left leg across the body, pull it down to the right foot, take it out to the left side once again. And then stop when the leg is in the vertical position. Now here we'll get a stretch by bringing the right leg in, placing the right ankle across the left thigh, bending the left leg. So we're coming into the number 4 stretch. I'm going to pull the left thigh in by pulling that strap towards me, and I'm pressing the right knee away. So feel that opposition, pulling the left knee in, right knee presses away. And then please place the right foot down, take the strap off, and we'll start with the strap onto the right foot. Starting with the right leg straight up to the ceiling, press out through the right buttock bone, and then bring the right leg out to the side. I want you to feel that you're extending through the inner thigh of the right leg and the left leg, but consciously pull your low belly, your waistline, your rib cage away from the right leg. So there's quite a bit of abdominal engagement here. And then use those abs pulling right to left to draw the leg straight up. Now we'll bring the leg a little bit off to the left, not very much. I just bring the foot over the left hip here. I'm anchoring down in the right hip so I get that IT band stretch. If you take it all the way over, you're going to miss this part of the stretch. And now bring the right hip up if the back allows. So now you're beginning to feel the piriformis stretch. And you can keep going, stacking the hips if, again, the back is allowing that. Keep lengthening the right hip away from the right shoulder. And now we'll do that clock hand, right foot down to the left foot, and we'll circle it out to the right side again. Abs engage here to pull the ribs from right to left, and use that to bring the leg to the vertical. Anchor the right hip. The right foot is over the left hip for the IT band stretch. And then come more to the left side, pressing the right hip away, glutes and back stretch. And then right foot goes down to the left and again out to the right side. Abdomen pulls right to left here and draw the leg to the vertical. And one last time, take the right foot a little to the left and then draw it across for your piriformis stretch. Make sure the back is nice and long here. And then circle the foot down and around. Abs move the leg out to the right side. And abs draw right to left to draw the leg to the vertical. Now we'll go to the number 4 stretch, bringing the left ankle onto the right leg. Pull the right thigh in. The right leg can be bent now. And then push the left leg away. And you can even put your hand here onto the left thigh, and you can press that away. Okay, and now let that go. Come on to all fours. And we're still going to work with the band here. So I'd like you to now, this one's a little tricky to get into. Place the band around your right foot. Mine was actually still there. It didn't get off. And then holding it with both of your hands. Okay, so again, a little tricky to get into, but we'll be in our quadruped position here. I'm going to move myself upwards. So at first, press into your hands. And then as you're pressing into the hands, externally rotate the arms and kind of tighten the muscles around your armpit. And then pull your rib cage up and together as if you had on a tight vest. I also want you to pull your waist together, but you're not doing it so much that you're curling the tailbone under. So we're in our neutral here. Press the right leg back with the right toes curled under, and then pull the low belly in, lift the leg with the inner thigh just about hip high, and then give me little pulses up. Feel you're extending out through the inner thigh of the leg, put the right foot down, and draw the right knee in again. Corset the ribs, cinch your waistline together, slide the right leg out again. Find that the inner thigh can lift the legs when you pull the abdomen up. Keep the hips level here, give me little pulses up again. And bend the knee again, come back to all fours. One more time, waistline cinches, slide the right leg back, keep the kneecap facing down, bring it back up again. And then this time you're going to grab that left strap, see if you can straighten the left arm by the ear. So we're in our bird dog, feel that diagonal connection across the body, and then bring the left hand down and the right foot down. Now we're going to get like a little fire hydrant action going. So now you'll just slide the right leg back just a little bit. Turn the right leg out so the inner thigh faces down, and then lift it up and give me little pulses here. And as you're doing this, make sure the left hip did not bump out to the side. And then bring the right leg all the way down. Knees next to each other. Keep the shoulder blades out of your ears, so still you want to press down into the arms from the outer shoulder. Slide the right leg just a little, and then you're going to turn it out. Inner thigh faces down, take it up again, and pulse it. Just little pulses. Good. Take the right leg down. Take a quick child's pose. And then bring yourself up. Now, when we get that left foot on the strap, it's kind of easy if you just step the left foot in and take the right leg out. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Thighs want to be vertical here. I want to feel that broadness across my back. And I want to feel like I'm holding the ceiling up with the back of my skull. Draw the ribs together. We have gravity against us. Tighten your waistline. Slide the left foot back. Kneecap facing down. Low belly jumps up. And I lift the leg. Inner thigh working. Little lifts here. Good. And then take it down. Left knee next to the right. Once again, stretch the leg out. Feel the sacrum level. More weight into the right knee. Lift it up. And little pulses again. That low belly has to be engaged so that we're not involving our lumbar. And then bend the left knee once again. One last time, find that corset structure, pull the ribs tight, tight belt onto the waist, left leg goes back, inner thigh is strong as you lift the leg, and then see if you can bring the right arm forward. And this belt gives you a nice kind of a dynamic way of feeling that diagonal connection. And then take the right hand down and left knee next to the right. Now this time for the outer hip work, slide the left leg back just a little, and then turn the knee out to the side, and then lift, and we're doing little pulses here. And this is where I think you really have to shore up the opposite hip, draw it to the midline, and then bring the left leg next to the right. Again, slide it back a little, turn the leg out, inner thigh facing down, squeeze the right hip to your midline, and little pulses again. And then bring it down. This time, take a child's pose, let go of the strap, arms stretching forward, and try and pull your hips back. Hold on to your mat and pull your mat forward. And I want you to try and traction your back as you do this. So I want you to try to pull the low belly into your back and even try and pull the rib cage a little bit off of the mat. Good. All right. From here, let's go ahead and come on to our side. And we're going to do just a little bit of side line work. Legs can be bent. It will be all the way down on the side. And here I don't have my legs in a table and I don't have them really far back. So somewhere in between, make sure that the legs are stacked. So make sure your top knee is as long as the bottom knee there. And then lengthen the top waistline so you'll feel the bottom waistline contract. And then imagine that tight vest again around your rib cage. And then pull the pelvic floor up. And then you want to feel this area here kind of hollow back again. We're going to lift the top leg up and then feel the abdominals pull the knee forward. And then right at the gluteal fold, we'll squeeze and you're going to draw the leg back. Keeping the hips nice and quiet, use the abs to draw it forward and then squeeze at the gluteal fold, draw it back. You'll be in a little hip extension. Now feel free to stay with that, or you can straighten the leg. This will be more challenging. The foot is flexed, the abs draw it forward, and then you'll draw it back. And again, it's a squeeze at the glutes. Make sure this hip isn't going with the leg. When the leg comes back, the thigh bone moves to the front of the hip socket. When the leg comes forward, the thigh bone goes to the back of the socket. And let's just do one more each way here. Draw the leg back, draw it back, back, back. Make sure the ribs are not thrusting forward. And then hold your heel if you can. Pull it in tight into the glutes. Press the knee away from your head, as long as the knee is happy. And then pull your sit bone forward. And that should give you a deep release in the psoas. Now, keeping the heel in close. Now it's going to be your hamstring that's working. So try to keep the heel in close with the hamstring. Draw the knee forward again. We're going to straighten it and then scrape your heel. Make a long, long, long leg as you take it back. Pull the heel in close again with the hamstring. Abs, pull it forward. And then do a long leg back. Try to stretch your leg longer here. Good. And again, draw it forward. Abs, draw it forward. And then scrape your heel and bring it back. And then hold that heel in close, draw the knee back more. Now we'll switch directions, straighten your leg, and then a straight leg will draw forward. Hips stay quiet here, bend the knee, and then back it up. Ribs together and in, and then again a straight leg forward, and pull it back. And one last one. And then please press yourself up and we'll switch sides. Starting with legs bent. Make sure when you're here that your shoulders are stacked. And particularly make sure that this top shoulder doesn't fall forward. So we want to keep it backwards here. Make sure your top hip doesn't roll backwards. So we're stacking our joints. I have the natural curve in my back. And I'm going to lengthen my top waist so I can contract the bottom. And then again, you want to feel that corseting structure to pull everything into your spine, including pelvic floor pulling up. Float this top leg up, feel the abdominals, pull the knee forward, and then right at the gluteal fold will contract and you'll draw the knee back. And then I'm watching my hip here. My hip isn't going along as my leg travels forward and back. As you draw it forward again, optionally you could straighten the leg, and then we'll do these leg swings if you want with a straight leg. So flexing the foot, the leg draws forward, feel like you draw the sit bone back, and then corset the ribs together, squeeze at the gluteal fold to draw it back. So when I draw it back, I need to pull that low belly in as well, so I don't involve, once again, that low back, that QL. Good. One last one. Draw the leg back, 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 and then bend it and try to pull the heel in close. If the knee allows, the heel will be all the way into the buttock, and then you'll press the knee away from your head and pull your sit bone forward. So that'll get the deeper hip flexor muscles, if you're able to make that adjustment, the rectus femoral psoas. Good. Now, hamstring works to keep the heel in. Once again, you're going to draw that knee forward. Now straighten the leg and then make it as long as you can as you draw it back. Ribs draw in, bend the knee again, hamstring holds that heel in close, and then draw it back again. Good, good. And again, bend and draw it back. And then bend that knee again. Let's reverse here. So straighten the leg and pull it forward with the abs, still bend the knee again. So hamstring pulls that heel in close and try to go into a nice extension. So feel the front of the leg open up, front of the hip open up here, abs pulling in, and the glutes have to be active. One last one. And then please press up and we'll do a hip stretch. I'd like you to cross your legs. And then think of bringing the navel down towards your calf and hinge forward. And this should give you a stretch in the hips. If this doesn't work for you for any reason, take a different hip stretch. So the idea is to get a stretch here in the outer hips and the glutes. So you could do another one. And then please press up and we'll change our cross. And instead of thinking head down or chin down or chest down, think of navel as going to the calves, okay? And then hopefully that'll get you a nice stretch. You can keep your chest a little bit more open. So I'm not trying to round my upper back here. And now down onto the belly, legs will be straight. We're going to start with the arms in more or less a goalpost position. Hands wider than the mat and elbows kind of directly out from the shoulders. You might need to adjust that a little bit. Bring your legs back, curl your toes under, and then draw your legs backwards and backwards. So I keep trying to draw them back. I'm trying to flatten out that hip crease where the leg goes in the body. Then I'm going to place the top of the feet down. I'm going to let my inner thighs roll up and my outer thighs roll down a little bit. And that'll bring a nice broadness across my sacrum. And then press the top of the feet down, squeeze at your knees. Maybe the kneecaps lift off of the mat. We're going to engage our quad muscles. When you're pressing the top of the feet down, you should feel the weight come into the upper thighs. And then keep that pubic bone heavy. Draw the lower abdominal tissue up away from it and up it towards the body. So I'm doming the abdominals up. I also want to think of lifting the back of the waistline to the ceiling as well. Now, energetically, pull your elbows backwards. Feel how that draws your shoulder blades down your back. And then kind of pressing down here still, you're going to lift the chest up and the head will just float along. And I really didn't do a whole lot there. I didn't lift up really high or anything. I didn't really change anything in the low back or the legs. So that's all staying as it was. Now from here, though, I want you to press your elbows down more. Lift your forearms up. That should really fire your mid-back muscles. And this should be a little bit challenging here, really. Now you can lift your elbows, but keep them low. And then squeeze the elbows in towards your ribs. And then take them back where they were. And again, you're going to squeeze the elbows in. And then back to that goal post. I want you to keep lifting the waistline up away from the mat. Draw that low belly in and up. We'll do this one more time. Elbows to the ribs and back to a goal post. And then stretch your arms out in a T position. And then take everything back down. Take a breath in there. Try to inflate the back of the rib cage again. Tailbone is still going to be heavy. And then pressing the hands down, lift the chest up again. Shoulder blades are still out of the ears. And now lift the arms away from the mat and give me little arm circles back and around. And back and around. Keep lifting that waistline. You want to feel the muscles at the back of the shoulders, not the front. And then pull the arms backwards towards your hips. Gaze is down. My chin is tucked a little bit. And I'm going to lay all the way back down. Now from here, face your palms down towards the mat. Lift the waistline. Lengthen the low back, so top of the sacrum to the bottom. Legs are still engaged. Draw the head of the shoulder up. So there's a little tension between the shoulder blades, but not squeezing to death. And then pressing the hands down, again, lift the chest up. Press the hands backwards. And then draw the chin to the top of the throat. Pull the waistline up again. And then push the legs away from you, from the front of the leg, and lift them just a little bit. So the front of the leg is pressing away. And then you can lift the hands and draw the hands back more towards the feet, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. Draw the hands underneath your shoulders, and then lifting the front of the shoulders again, pull those elbows in close, pull the waistline up, and then press up. And we're going to be in a knee plank position. Okay, so in your knee plank position, I want you to spin your elbows backwards and draw the waist together. And then bend the elbows to the side for a little push-up. Could be just like half a push-up, and press up. You want to inhale as you go down and exhale, press up. And I'm not bending anything except my elbows. Make sure the head is just traveling along. Good. And two more. And one last one. Great. Now we're going to flip around and we'll be seated and we'll use the strap again. And we're going to continue to do some work with the back and the arms. So I'd like you to take that strap now and wrap it around your shins. And I'm going to take it underneath and cross it. And then I'm going to hold it. Okay, so not too complicated. Now the legs could be all the way together, or you could take them a little bit apart, whatever feels comfortable. And if you feel like you're better lifting the toes up and flexing the ankles, you could do that as well. So for the work we're doing here, you could stay upright the whole time. If you want more ab work, I want you to go to a posterior tilt and begin to curl backwards a little bit. And it doesn't have to be very far, but you need to keep the lower abs pulling in and up. From here, we're just going to take the arms wide and backwards, and then back to the front. And you'll pull them wide, working our lat muscles here. Good. And again, pull them wide. And we have two more like this. And last one. And then everybody hinge forward at the hips. So now you're bringing your chest more onto the thighs. Tuck your elbows backwards towards your ribs. And now straighten the arms and we'll work our triceps. And again, you're going to straighten and you'll bend. Try to keep the elbows in close here. Now I'm making a fist and I'm holding it and trying to draw my thumbs downward. One more here. Good. And then sit back tall again. Now you're going to turn the palms to face the ceiling. You can stay sitting tall or posterior tilt again and curl backwards a little bit. And then everybody bicep curl and release. And big exhale. Good. And one more. Good. And then sit tall again. Now we'll do a rotator cuff. So I'm going to get some more tension. I'm going to keep my elbows close, and then I'll draw the hands apart. And again, And when I'm doing this, I'm feeling the muscles around my shoulder blades. And you have 4 rotator cuff muscles there. You could feel a little bit in the front, but try to feel what's going on in the back. Good. And then one more time, palms face down. And again, you could go back to that tilt or not. Now we're going to draw the elbows back and take it forward. So I want you to think of the forearms as kind of leading us into this rather than the top of the shoulder. And one more. Good. Release that. Now we'll use the roller and we'll take some stretches for the back and the shoulders. In an all-fours position, bring the roller forward. Actually, we'll be in kneeling here. Okay, so here I want you to think of you can think of a cat-cow and going into a swan, bringing the fingertips onto the roller. Make sure they're a good distance apart. And then when you roll the roller away, turn the upper arm out, pull the ribs away from the mat. And then as you're coming up, try not to push your hips back. Just use your abs to draw yourself back up. And then down you go. Should we feel like a good amount of ab work to draw yourself up? Think of kind of a cat pose. One last one like this. Then I'm going to change it on you. So again, try not to push those hips back as you come up. Now at the top, put the right hand on the left hand. So now the hands are closer and we'll do the same thing. The arms go out again and you'll get more shoulder stretch this way. And bring yourself back up. Still the abs draw you up. And down again you go. And draw yourself up. Now changing it. My right hand is on top. Now when I go down, I'm going to turn and look underneath my right arm. And I feel quite a nice stretch in the outer left shoulder. And back up you come. And one more time, turn and look to the right. And back up we come. Now switching, left hand on the right. Again, roller goes out. Rib cage draws in. Come back up. Once more here. And adding the turn now, when the arms are extended, you can look underneath the left arm and draw yourself back up. And one last one. And draw yourself up. Okay, and then let's come to standing. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I did want to do one other thing, but we'll have to skip over it and just come here and straddle your roller. And then come to a forward fold. Place your hands on the roller and then draw your kneecaps up and straighten your legs. So really, really work for a very straight leg by contracting your quad, drawing the knees up. Unless this hurts the back, which I'd like to know if you could share that with me after class, but really, really try and draw the knees up. And now pull the abdomen into your back to roll up. Feel free to soften the knees as you roll up. And then hold the roller tightly from the outer ankle, squeezing in. And let's lift the heels up, lift the arms up. Press down through those big toes. Keep hugging your roller. And then take it down. And we are done. And I thank you. Let me see here. There we go.